Presented by First Merchants Bank. First Merchants Bank, helping you prosper. Get ready to learn more about the Columbus Blue Jackets players and coaches, as well as find out what's going on this week in the NHL. Now let's join Bob McElligott for the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank.
Welcome to the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. It's another summer edition. I'm Bob McElligott, and I've got a big show for you. The Blue Jackets, of course, did some work in the last week, getting 2 players signed. 2 restricted free agents are now under contract. One is Kent Johnson. The other is Kirill Marchenko. That one is really important because he could have gone to arbitration. I'm going to talk with Aaron Portzline from The Athletic about all of those signings coming up a little bit later in the show, but I want to get this one kicked off by talking to one of the current Blue Jackets players who happens to be in town. He is working out. He is getting ready for the season, and that is Justin Danforth. And, man, I'll tell you, training camp just can't get here soon enough for you, huh?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Just happy to be back. I've been working all summer, but see some faces here and get back to work.
Well, how long you been back?
A couple weeks now. Yeah.
Couple of weeks in the middle of summertime. It's a lot different here in the summertime, isn't it? I mean, it's a heck of a lot warmer, and actually you've probably seen more sun in the couple of weeks you've been here than maybe you saw during the season this year.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great place to be in the summer. There's lots going on. Happy to be back, and it's definitely good to see some faces at the rink and see trainers and get to see these guys.
When you come in here now, there are things that are different, obviously. I mean, you've got two new bosses than you had when you left here at the end of the season. You've got Don Waddell's the new general manager here, and Dean Evison is now the new head coach. I don't know if you've had a chance to meet or talk with either one of those guys, but even though the faces, when you go in there to work out and you talk to the trainers and the strength guys, they're all the same guys, but do you have any different kind of just overall feel coming in here?
Yeah, I think there's a different feel going around the rink. Obviously, there's not too many guys back in town right now, but I think over the last 3 years I've been here, it's we haven't been able to get the job done, and I know that the guys want to win and we want to be a playoff team. So I think change is good, and it's gonna cause guys to have to step up and be prepared and be ready to work come training camp and earn jobs. So it's an exciting time to be a Blue Jacket.
And it was something that obviously you knew was coming because last year, the way the season wound up going, and then Jarmo Kekalainen gets fired in February, so you know that there's going to be a new general manager at some point before the next season begins. So as a player, you guys are trying to play. Like you said, you're trying to play, you're trying to win, you're trying to do the best that you can, hold on to your jobs, keep your jobs, be in the best situation for whoever the new boss happens to be. But, watching the process now, as you get done playing and now you're at home and you get your rest and relaxation and you start working, and then you see what this team is doing in the way that they did their hiring. What's your thoughts as a player, and just without talking to anybody, just looking at it yourself, and what were your thoughts?
I think the change has been good. I think it causes players to have to show up to camp and be ready to work. And like I said, the last 3 years haven't. I think really what I think is that the Blue Jacket fans deserve a winning team. Every year we do try our best to put that on the ice, but we've been unsuccessful the last 3 years. But I think with our team we have so many pieces. We have such a good young group coming in all those players are going to take steps. You got Werenski, Boone, Monahan, Johnny. Like, we have all the pieces to be a successful team. But to have a different feel around the rink and we're all going to get here early and put the work in and make sure the fans get what they deserve this year.
And that's kind of been a head scratcher in a way, hasn't it? Because as you just said, when you look around the room, there is talent there. Now, getting it to click or getting the breaks that you need or the bounces you need on any given night, that hasn't come enough for you. But just knowing that you have the personnel has got to be a great feeling coming into this camp.
Yeah, I think so. I think, we have the guys to get the job done. Obviously, it depends on us as players to put the work in and be ready for the season and to not make excuses about what happened in the last couple of years. But, it's a fresh slate. Guys are going to have to earn it, myself included. You're always fighting for your job. And that's healthy. You have to compete. It's a league of competition. The best competitors win every year. You look at Florida last year, and Kachuk. You have these guys who just show up, lunch pail, and they go to work. So we have the same guys in the room. We just have to come together and get the job done.
When the Blue Jackets hired Dean Evison, did you you do any homework on him, or do you know any guys that played for him? Did you try to find anything out?
I mean, you ask around a little bit, but not too much homework. I know I'll eventually meet him, and I've heard good things. I heard he's a hard-nosed coach that demands details and hard work every night. He's going to push the pace, and I think it's my style. So I'm the way I play the game, the way I show up and work, it should. I don't have to change anything. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. I
like how you said my style, and he does have that that reputation, or he did it in Minnesota. I mean, they were a tough team to play against. There was no question about it. They didn't have they had good players, and they had some exceptional players, but they didn't have a team of superstars. But they went out there and they worked hard every single night, and I know that's what you guys are expecting to do. Just tell me, as a player, okay, so like for you, what your role is here. You know that you're going to be an energy guy. You're going to be a more times not a bottom six guy. If you need to jump up, you can do all of that. Swiss Army knife, all of that stuff. You know your role. For some of the other guys, maybe a more skilled guy, or maybe for a young guy that's still trying to figure it out in the National Hockey League, what does a coach that is let's just say, no nonsense for a decent description here, what does that do for you as far as just trying to figure out who you are and what you need to do night in and night out?
Yeah, I think every great team has guys that know their role. So I think, for me personally, of being that bottom six guy, I'm okay with being, fourth line energy guy and adding depth scoring. So I think, I can only speak for myself, and I know my role here, and it's, I'm proud to play that way, and I love playing with Curls and Olivier and these guys. So it's, I think you need to have guys that play their role you need to have guys that know their role and play it to 100% every night. Yeah,
you talked about Sean Corrali and Matthew Olivier when Dean Evison was hired, and when I sat down and I talked with him last week, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about guys like you and how much you must be excited. Erica Branson goes into that conversation too, and it's not about fighting. It's just about playing hard and being held accountable. And as a player, isn't that really what you're looking for out of your coach? Is kind of two things. You want to be held accountable, and you want total honesty. Whether it's something you want to hear or you don't want to hear, those are two big attributes, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that's what players look for the most. You just want to have honesty both ways, communication, that you can, when you're doing something wrong and you're held accountable regardless of who you might be. I think that's huge. And with our team this year is being held accountable and playing. Just knowing when you're not playing, you're doing stuff the wrong way. It's going to be, even last year, Boone's a great captain, and he held me accountable a couple times throughout the year, and that's what you need. You need up and down the lineup to guys that hold each other accountable for 82 games and practices and training camp, and to push each other to get better every day, and compete and practice and battle. And it's not a lot of fun, but it definitely makes a team closer and makes you guys harder to play against. It pushes guys to their top limit, and if you can get our entire roster playing to their full potential, it's a dangerous team to play against.
Yeah, it's funny because like in my profession, when we're talking about old school coaches. Let's just say it that way. Accountability guys. With Buffalo, when they made a coaching change at the end of the season, it was reported that the players were saying that they wanted more of that. I think sometimes you get a sense of, and it can be a false sense, don't get me wrong. You get a sense that, well, people don't want that old school kind of thing. They don't want somebody that's going to crack down on you. And maybe that is the case until you don't have it. And sometimes you just kind of need a little bit more structure and accountability, don't you?
Yeah, I think the best teams have it. I don't think it just comes down from the coach, too. I think it comes down from inside the locker room. I think when you have your teammates holding you accountable regardless of who you are, it creates a winning culture. It creates those healthy habits and those good habits on ice that are hard to play against. When a team, because we go in each night and we know what a team's, how that team plays. If you play against Carolina, you know exactly how they're going to play every night. They play the same way every game, and they're hard to play against, and they backtrack and they finish hits, and they play a simple game, chip pucks out, but they have the speed, the force to chase pucks down. So I think creating that identity is what you need to do. And I think we've made strides in the past, but this is the kind of the year where we want to for it to come all together and to be tough to play against. And when teams come in to play in our rink, they know what to expect from our standpoint, and we're going to play hard, and we're going to be not a fun team to play against.
I'm talking with Blue Jackets forward Justin Danforth on tonight's edition of the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. Our conversation continues after this on 97.1 The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. Austin Ward here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3-putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy, because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com.
Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist bumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend.
Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Common Man here for Choice Cabinet. Contractors, builders, apartment managers, I'm talking to you. You've all been using the same old cabinet vendors for too long. I want to introduce you to Choice Cabinet. They are new to Central Ohio, and they want your business. Family owned and operated by the Laurinaitis. Yes, cousins to that guy. Kitchens, closets, pantries, laundry rooms, mud rooms, 60,000 all-wood cabinets in stock. Call my guys today, 216-378-9313, or go to choicecabinet.com.
Hello, loyal listener. Make sure to spend your summer with The Fan. Are you going on a road trip? Don't suffer through the bad playlists and hillbilly radio stations. Download the Fan app and take us with you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Know how. Know now. Be in the know now with the free 10 TV app. News now. Weather now. Traffic right now. Alerts before you know and go. Breaking news, community events, your favorite teams, and their live scores. Anything you want to know now. Now you know how to know everything right now. And we love knowing you know. Stay in the know with the 10 TV app. Download it for free right now.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. I was in my Lexus the other day. It was hot as hell, but I was so thankful for my ventilated seats. I'm not saying that's why you should buy one. It's just very nice. Right now at Jermaine Lexus, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with lease payments as low as $499 a month and 3.99% financing on select models. Get this, the RZ is 0%. I have been a Jermaine customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Jermaine Lexus, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean, interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
As the official financial services partner of your Columbus Blue Jackets, Bread Financial is ready to join the fifth line and light the fuse. And that's not just cannon fodder. They offer simple, personalized payment, lending, and savings solutions. From the Bread Cashback American Express credit card to high-yield savings, CDs, and even buy now, pay later options, you'll find financial solutions for any budget. Shoot and score at breadfinancial.com.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. Oh no, I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my two best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hot and humid with just the risk of a late-day storm on this Wednesday. Temperatures running around 90 degrees. Back in the low 70s, warm and muggy and dry by Thursday morning. Hot and humid again by Thursday afternoon with a chance of more late-day thunderstorms with highs in the low 90s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
All Blue Jackets, all the time. This is the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McElligott. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. Some Blue Jackets players are already in town, and they're working out. One of those is forward Justin Danforth, who has agreed to sit down and talk with me here tonight. Look, you've been here long enough now, and you have enough experience that you can be in that leadership group. You're talking about, players holding players accountable. And do you feel comfortable in this room now where, that's something that you can do to help younger players if it needs to be done? I know you're kind of a quiet guy and you just go and do your business, you lead by example kind of thing, but are you comfortable enough now with this franchise that you can give that helping hand? You can be one of those guys too?
Yeah, I think I've definitely got more comfortable over the 3 years here. Obviously I had that injury in my second year that kind of was a bit of a setback, but yeah, I think I am more of a try and show it on the ice kind of guy and play the same way every night, but I do think that I can, hold guys accountable if need be, or young guys, old guys. But I mean, even a young guy can hold. If a young guy wants to hold me accountable, I respect that, and as long as they're doing their job and I'm doing my job, everybody's happy.
Were you excited when you saw the contracts? Kent Johnson gets a new deal. Kirill Marchenko gets a new deal. Obviously, these guys have been important in the last couple of seasons, and they're only starting to scratch the surface. Is it just nice to? And it's not quite all the way there yet, I know, but is it nice to have the band back together?
Yeah, it's great. I'm obviously pumped for these guys to get their deals done, and definitely well-deserved. A guy like Marchie who, you can definitely see the skill he has every night and the plays he's able to make. So definitely pumped to get these guys back and get some deals on with these kids. And, yeah, it's an exciting time.
One of the things that Don Waddell has said since he's come in here is the goals against has got to go down, and it was not good last year. It's not just one guy, it's every guy. And as somebody that plays in your role, what kind of things can you do to help to cut that down, and with the defense that you're going to play and the situations that you're going to play?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you want to limit goals against. I mean, for me personally, it's just, playing hard away from the puck, playing, sacrificing the body in the D zone and doing what's best for the team. Continuing to do that stuff, and yeah, I guess that's what I can do. All right,
we got all that hockey stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
What have you been doing with yourself outside of this summer? Have you done anything fun?
I've been on a quick vacation at the end of the year. Went to Costa Rica with my girlfriend. We did that for a couple weeks there, but honestly, just you're away from family so long throughout the season. It's always nice just to get home and get reconnected with your grandparents and family and your good friends that you don't get to really see all year. So really just spending good time, quality time, dinners and heading to the cottage for a weekend or two and just kind of reconnecting with your buddies. And so that's kind of what I do in the summer. But a lot of it is training. You're still at the gym 5 days a week, getting ready. You still have that. Every player has it in the back of their mind, training camp, and you're always thinking about it. You're always getting those pre-camp nerves. And So it's been a great summer. I'm definitely excited to be back a bit earlier this year and get situated again.
Tell me a little bit about Costa Rica. I've heard good things about it. I've never been there.
Yeah.
What did you do anything or encounter anything that was like, man, that was really cool? I've never had that experience or never thought I would.
It's a cool country, honestly. It's kind of underrated. I don't think many people go on vacation there. Like, it's not really a hotbed for athletes to go there, but we loved it. It was we rented a car and just kind of jumped around from place to place, rented a couple Airbnbs, and just kind of, you find these little surf towns and you just kind of hang out, relax, and you go surfing, you go did deep sea fishing. It's a beautiful country. You can go to the volcano area, the jungle area, and you get to see the monkeys and get to hike and do all that stuff. But then you can go down to the surfing cities and get to see that lifestyle. And they have a very, very cool lifestyle there of easygoing. They have the Pura Vida thing where it's just kind of everybody seems to be happy there, and it's a different pace than what we live here in North America.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about even more specifically, because I've heard all of that. And, you come off an 82-game season of, everything is so intense all the time. We talked about how it was a disappointing season as a team. Everything's going to change. Was it nice just to find a place where there was that kind of, hey, just don't worry about it. Just enjoy life for a little bit.
Yeah, I think you need it. You need at least a couple, week or two after the season to kind of just step away from hockey and have a little mental reset. It's mostly mental. Obviously, you're physically worn down, but just have a mental break where you can just kind of step back and just enjoy, peace and quiet for a bit. Enjoy, vacation with the girlfriend and, meet new people on vacation that don't really know what hockey is. And so it's a different lifestyle over there, and it's nice to kind of have a reset, and it helps to have that reset and then get back to work where you can kind of feel fresh and then start preparing.
So did you surf?
I did, yeah.
Yeah? Is that a big thing for you, or was that something new?
It was my first time. Yeah, I loved it, though. It was something different, pretty hard. Like, it looks a lot easier than it is. But, we did a couple days surfing. And I wouldn't say I'm a pro by any means, but I was able to get up and down. So
how was your balance? Does your hockey playing help your balance at all?
I think so, yeah. A little bit of athleticism out there, so it was good.
All right. Hey, you talked about, coming back. Have you guys set up, at least even in little groups, about when guys are going to get back and when you're going to start working and hanging out? Because you'll have, ideally, you'll have a little bit of time to do that before it gets really serious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure camp starts the 18th, so I think, usually we get in a couple weeks early, start practicing as a team. And obviously there's not many new faces in the locker room, but, we'll have everybody here to kind of mesh and, start the whole process.
It's kind of funny when you said that. Well, I think camp starts the 18th. Isn't it funny how in our business we know the dates?
Yeah.
We know the dates. And, I don't know, when you're vacationing and when you're going to the cottage and all that stuff, do you ever miss the structure of the season? I get so locked into, I've got to be here at 10 o'clock. I've got to be on the bus at 5 o'clock. The bus is leaving the rink at 11 o'clock. And then the summertime comes and it's just like a free-for-all. And it usually takes a little bit of adjustment for me on both ends. When it's over, getting back to less structure and then getting back to the structure in the fall.
Yeah. Obviously, there's less structure in the summer, but you're still getting to the gym at those certain times and still getting to the rink and stuff like that. But it's definitely a nice change of pace. But you start to miss that structure of games and getting to play in front of our fans and stuff like that. So you kind of get the itch. But early in the summer, you're just kind of enjoying the non-schedule, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I've got to tell my wife all the time, it's like, look, give me a time.
Yeah.
And that's always fluctuating, but that's a different story. But it's like, if you need me to be somewhere, you just give me the time, because I know if I'm going to a morning skate, that bus is at 10 o'clock and I got to be on it by 9:55. So that's the way I'm programmed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same as me.
Same as you, for sure. Justin, thanks. It's great to see you. Thanks for the conversation. I really appreciate it. I wish you nothing but the best. I know it's going to be an exciting training camp for everybody, but I think a guy like you, there's opportunities abound here in this new situation with the Blue Jackets. So good luck and making the best of it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
That is Blue Jackets forward Justin Danforth. Stay tuned. Coming up next, I'll be joined by Aaron Portzline of The Athletic. We'll talk about all the business off ice the Blue Jackets did last week in signing Kirill Marchenko and Kent Johnson. That and more as the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank continues here on 97.1 The Fan.
Chops his serial killer eyes, and Reeser can grow a full beard before lunch. What can your friends do? Bishop and Friends.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Ignite your Irish spirit at the Dublin Irish Festival, August 2nd through 4th. Prepare to be blown away as you explore one of the top Irish festivals in the US, drawing over 100,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Enjoy 7 music stages, 60 acts and more than 800 performers, epic Irish entertainment, great food and more. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
The Fan is your home for the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we're not. You can't say that. Take 2.
The Fan is your home of the Buckeyes. Yes, that's right. Same thing, but more playoff success. Now give Big Voice Guy another brandy. Thank you. The Fan.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in today's economy, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Your assets and finances are scrutinized. Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Welcome to Reverse Aesthetics. Our medical weight loss program includes popular medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, both of which are supercharged by our body sculpting treatments. For only $2.99 per month, under the supervision of our board-certified medical doctor, Reverse Aesthetics can help you achieve your weight loss goals while tracking progress quarterly. We have plenty of inventory and can begin treatment within 48 hours of your consult. Schedule now at reverse-aesthetics.com or call us at 614-656-4000.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Pella has forever been known for the best of windows, Wilson. But our doors, just as game-changing.
Yep, same with us.
We've got traditional and modern options, but also some really innovative stuff, like big, bold colors or tuck-away sliding doors.
But do you have the give it a little kick to open it door?
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah, you got to give it a good little kick to open it.
Get the windows and doors that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted. PellaColumbus.com.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Can't get enough Blue Jackets conversation? Good news. It's Hockey O'Clock. It's the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McElligott. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. The Blue Jackets did some real work in the last week, getting Kent Johnson and Kirill Marchenko both under contract. That means one restricted free agent remains to be signed, and that is Cole Sillinger. So Don Waddell, the general manager of the Blue Jackets, getting a lot of work done. Oh, in addition to that Sillinger deal that needs to be done, Patrick Laine, he is out of the player assistance program, and he would like to have a change of scenery. So Don Waddell will try to find a trading partner to move Patrick Laine. Here to talk with me about all of those things is Aaron Portzline, who covers the Blue Jackets for The Athletic. And Aaron, the other day, I'm just sitting around, and I get a great text from you telling me that the Dinosaur Barbecue in Syracuse, New York is still exactly what it was when I worked there. I got to go back 15 years now, and I was so pleased to know that you were there in central New York and that nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed, Bob. I walked into the place. First of all, the food was tremendous, as it always is. I walked into the place to use the facility. My wife and I ate outside, and there was the sort of the awkward intersection next to the bar, between the bar and where you go back to the bathroom, where I was confronted by two International League umpires back in probably 1998 and shouted at because they didn't like something I wrote about. It warmed my heart, the memory. They were PO'd at something that was written in, I worked for the Columbus Dispatch then, about a strike zone, an inconsistent strike zone. And they took umbrage with that. Memories, right? Memories. Nothing has changed at the Dinosaur Barbecue, including the menu, maybe even some of the wait staff. But it was fantastic.
I'll bet you even the apartment that Jody Shelley once had upstairs very close to the Dinosaur Barbecue is probably still the same to this day.
There should be a plaque or a historical marker there, I would think, if they're doing things right in Syracuse.
You know, if you still did baseball today, you would not have to face that confrontation with the umpires, because now in AAA baseball, they use an automated strike zone. So the computer doesn't call it. The umpire calls it, but there's a challenge system where you can challenge the call, and if it's wrong, it will be overturned. So no umpire can take umbrage with your evaluation of the strike zone ever again, at least not in minor league baseball, still in major league so far.
Yeah, and maybe as weird as the world's getting, I would now be confronted by some sort of AI computer bot at the Dinosaur Barbecue.
It would just infect your phone and shut it off.
Yeah, there you go. That might be a good thing.
Where else did you go when you were up there?
So we took a sort of a lake trip. We did Cape Cod. We did Martha's Vineyard for a day. We did Lake Placid, which was awesome. I'd never been there. I always wanted to be. We were there for the opening ceremonies this year's Olympics. We did Lake George, and then we did Lake Chautauqua. And my wife would like a word with Don Waddell because there was a consistent flow of news throughout this. Thank God the world has changed where there's Wi-Fi everywhere, so you could respond to news. But it was kind of it was a great trip, and as you mentioned, some great stories that the Blue Jackets provided us with, important stories, anyways. Some summer business getting done here late in the summer.
Well, before we get into that business, I just want to say I'm so glad you got to take a trip like that, because you haven't been able to take trips for a long time because of your health. And I'm so happy that you had that kidney transplant and that you are healthy once again and that you're able to do those things. And I hope this year you're able to go with us a couple of times and see the Blue Jackets play on the road.
Yeah, well, thanks. It's still not cleared to fly, although that could be coming soon. So we needed to take a car trip. And that's what we did. We broke it up. Saw the Harrisburg Senators play a game on Island Park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Went to New Haven, Connecticut for Sal's Pizza, which was nice. Just sort of made our way east. Made the most of it. Saw some beautiful lakes. Some great. Lake Placid is absolutely gorgeous. That was a real thrill to be there. But, yeah, thanks. And hopefully the clearance to hop on the Big Bird and get back to the full measure of the work will come soon.
I remember when I used to work in Syracuse, the hockey players during the wintertime would always say
how can you live here all year long? This is terrible. How do you, and I would tell them, I would say, listen, guys, I'm not kidding you. In the summertime, it is great here. I mean, you get to June and July and even early August, it's nice. The sun actually shines. There is little humidity. There are plenty of lakes and golf courses and all that stuff. And it was like they didn't believe me because it seemed that all they ever saw were clouds and snow.
It's all they'd ever known. And Lake Placid in the summertime, I mean, it's a winter community. It's a winter sports haven, but it in the summertime, it's just beautiful. I was a little stunned, a little surprised too. Of course, the lake there is called Lake Placid, but there's a second lake in town called Mirror Lake, which is looks like it's about the same size. Beautiful setting. And you really can't go too far without seeing some sort of reference to 1932 and 1980. And it's incredible because that's a city of less than 15,000, and it hosted 2 Olympic Games. And if you think of what the Olympics is today and the places they go, even the Winter Olympics, the cities they go to now, they're not even a city of 15,000. No way.
Yeah.
Just no way. I mean, it's incredible that was allowed to happen. And of course, 1980, that absolutely historic, hockey tournament. Eric Heiden was huge too, but the U.S. Olympic team, just to see a lot of it. There's a museum there. To see a lot of that stuff is just incredible.
You know what I was thinking last night, actually, because we were watching the Olympics, and I was thinking, they're in Paris, and the stuff that we're watching happened, hours before, and the fact that game at Lake Placid, that game against the Soviet Union, was not televised live is incredible. Well, it is incredible today. I guess go back to the times, and it wasn't a surprise, but like today, not only would that not happen, because the demand would be there to see it live, but also you would miss out on making a whole ton of money if you didn't televise that thing live today.
Yeah, and you know what, Bob, we both had the pleasure of dealing with Craig Patrick through the years, and I used to bend his ear all the time asking him. He was an assistant coach on that team. I remember saying to him one time, did you ever get sick of this? Because I feel like every time I see you, I've got like 8 questions for you. And he said, how can I get sick of this? This is the greatest thing outside of my family that's ever happened in my life. Like and he had so many incredible stories. We all did. I remember I was at a high school basketball game, Mount Vernon, Ohio. When that game aired, the JV game was still going on. And they announced between the junior varsity and the varsity game, the results of the USSR game. And the gymnasium broke into God Bless America. Like, whoa. And of course, that wasn't the gold medal game. They still had to beat Finland. But they aired that game later that night. And I think they aired it again the next day because so many people were so into that story. But it did not air live, which is really a reminder of how much the world has changed.
Yes, it is. And, to go watch that movie Miracle, which is, really well done. For people like me and you, it takes you back to that time. Now, I was younger, so I didn't really realize all the stuff that was going on in the world at that time, the way it was. Right. I knew we could only get gas on certain days of the week, but I didn't realize how bad the economy was because it didn't affect you as a kid, right? But what an amazing time. And I love that, what Craig Patrick said, because, every time I dealt with him and talked to him about that, and then especially once that movie came out and the way they portrayed him in that movie, it was always like, was that really him? This guy hardly says anything, and he's so, he's so quiet and shy, so it seems. But yeah, what a great story. I'm glad you got a chance to visit there. I've never gotten to go there.
He would well up every time you talk about it. Like he'd tell me stories of meeting truck drivers from Texas. They didn't give a hoot about hockey, much less Olympic hockey. And a truck driver from Texas told him that when that score came over the radio, a bunch of truckers pulled off on the berm in the middle of Texas and were dancing and high-fiving each other on the berm in Texas. I mean, I don't think it's too big a stretch to say, well, I was 9. I don't know that I'm as nuts about sports or as passionate about hockey if that doesn't happen. That was a big part of hockey becoming so popular south of the border. There's no question.
I'm talking with Aaron Portzline, who covers the Blue Jackets for The Athletic. Now that we have all the summer travel talk out of the way, we'll take a break and come back and get to the business of hockey talk and what the Blue Jackets have done in the last week and what things they have left to do before training camp. You're listening to The Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank here on 97.1 The Fan.
The only radio station still operating with an active booze cart. I'm drunk right now. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. For years, like me, you've heard their name on the radio, you've seen their ads on TV, you've seen their trucks driving around in your neighborhood, or you've been greeted with a smiling face at a local community event. Newman Roofing. That's right. They've built their reputation on honesty and professionalism within the Central Ohio community. As a company, Newman Roofing believes in giving back to the community who has supported them over the last 32 years. It's essential to developing those long-lasting relationships with their families. Tim is a small-town guy with small-town values, and when I met and talked with him and his team, you could tell how much they love the community they serve. And you can hear those stories and hundreds of 5-star reviews to how many people trust Newman Roofing with their project and how they meet their expectations. So when it comes to your roofing needs, call Newman Roofing to receive unparalleled customer experience. So give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com. That's newmanroofing.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hi, it's me, Little Bob from Bob's Discount Furniture. I know, you don't know me yet, but I'm here to let you know that I'm opening up 2 brand new showrooms in the Columbus area, located in Reynoldsburg and Polaris, bringing even more of my everyday low prices to the people of Ohio. And if you can't wait, MyBobs.com is the quickest and easiest way to get unbeatable furniture prices delivered straight to your home today. That's my 2 brand new Bob's Discount Furniture stores coming to Reynoldsburg and Polaris this summer.
Get Bob's Discount!
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean, interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
Create career momentum with us at Worthington Steel. Whether you're a recent grad or a seasoned veteran looking to level up, we'll empower your journey. Join a team that puts people first with career development programs, competitive pay, and excellent benefits, including lower health insurance premiums than comparable companies. Let's drive steel forward together. Apply today at worthingtonsteel.com/careers. That's worthingtonsteel.com/careers.
Every breakaway, every penalty kill, every check into the boards, it all takes hard work. And hard work needs advanced rehydration. That's why the Columbus Blue Jackets choose Pedialyte as their official hydration partner. Pedialyte has twice the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading sports drinks. Hydrate like the pros and make Pedialyte a part of your exercise routine. Per liter, Pedialyte has at least 1,030 milligrams of sodium and no more than 25 grams of sugar. Leading sports drinks have approximately 460 milligrams of sodium and 58 grams of sugar.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean, interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
All
Blue Jackets all the time. This is the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McElligott. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. I'm Bob McElligott, and I'm joined right now by Aaron Portzline, who covers the Blue Jackets beat for The Athletic. All right, well, let's get on to the business of the Blue Jackets and what Don Waddell was able to do this week. He signed 2 contracts, Kent Johnson and Kirill Marchenko. They were both restricted free agents. Johnson was not going to go to arbitration. Kirill Marchenko was. As a matter of fact, I think what today would have been his arbitration case if he had held out and had gone that route. So they both get signed. They both get signed to 3-year deals. And when you look at these deals and you look at the price that Don Waddell got these players for, tell me about the value in these contracts.
Yeah, well, the Johnson one came first. To me, the surprising part of that was the term. I was surprised that Johnson would go 3 years with them. I was expecting a 1-year deal. I think the Blue Jackets, frankly, were too, because this is a player who's going to have an opportunity here this coming season, but certainly within the next 3 years, to play a really significant role on this team. Top 6, I don't think is out of the question, and could really be a productive player. To sign 3 years for a 1.8 average. That could look really, really good very, very quickly. The Marchenko deal, you know what I think is always so interesting about the cases with European players in arbitration is a lot of these guys, I don't know what price tag they put on it, but they just don't want to leave the last couple of weeks of their summer to fly all the way across the world for an arbitration hearing. Can we get this done? That is a real impetus in getting it done. Marchenko would have flown here Monday night. The hours after the briefs on each side were filed, so that they get him done. And I like the deal too. 3 years. I mean, I think one of the parts that was really interesting to me was Don Waddell saying that he wanted to go 2 years with Marchenko, and when they wanted 3, he went back to work and did some character research on this player. Is this a guy you can commit to long term? And first of all, I appreciate Waddell's openness and frankness in explaining all this, but he did a lot of research to see if this, not just a guy that people like, but a guy that is self-motivated, driven, and Marchenko checked all the boxes. So they went to 3 and they avoided arbitration. Blue Jackets have never been through the arbitration process with the player, which is pretty wild when you consider they're 24 years in here.
Yes, it is very wild, and I think it's also very good because the arbitration process is there so that if you can't work it out with the player yourself, then you both present your cases, and then the arbiter will decide, who's right, who's wrong. They'll set the price, and then you can go ahead and complete the contract. Now, that all sounds fine, well, and good, but what it does so many times is it damages a relationship between an organization and a player, because what the organization is going to say, so let's say I'm asking for $5 million, they're offering me $3 million, and we go to an arbiter, and all of a sudden they're sitting there saying, well, he doesn't deserve $5 million because he doesn't do this well and he doesn't do this. And that. So what can happen when you come out of that is, as a player, you could say, well, these guys don't even like me. All they did is sat there and said that these are all the things I do wrong, so why do I want to even commit here long term? So that's kind of the danger about arbitration, right? That's why you just want to figure it out amongst yourselves so you don't even have to get into that predicament.
Yeah, I think even just negotiations, feelings get bruised sometimes. But when you sit there in front of the arbiter and really argue your case, here's why we think this comparable doesn't apply. And you know what, specifically with Marchenko, it almost certainly would have been his defensive play. Can they trust him on both ends of the ice? Certainly the kid can score goals. He's got a shot. But there's a lot of work to do defensively. Don Waddell saying he likes really likes the impact that a Dean Evison, the new coach, can have on Marchenko, because that's the next frontier, is making him a 200-foot player, not just an offensive guy. So you can just imagine an arbitration hearing where his defensive liabilities would have been not just mentioned, but really hammered home in a way that can leave a mark sometimes, especially with the young players. It's young people in general. It's hard at that point in your career sometimes your confidence comes and goes, and to hear your own team describe you in unflattering ways can be difficult. And some guys don't ever get over it.
Yeah, you're right about that. So that's why I'm glad they were able to avoid that. And I bet you when Don Waddell went to do that research about the third year of the contract, we've had the luxury of being around Kirill Marchenko for the last 2 years. So I'll bet you that was a very quick bit of research, because all he would have to do is talk to 2 or 3 people at the max, and you would get the information you're looking for as to whether or not Kirill is somebody that you want to have around and somebody that is going to be self-driven to get better.
Yeah, and I think Don Waddell does his research perhaps to the extreme. He told me he had almost 40. It was either 40 lines. I don't think it could have been 40 pages. 40 names of people that he spoke to regarding Dean Evison before hiring him as the coach. 40. That's a lot of character references. I don't know if there are 40 people who could say good things about me, for God's sakes.
And I bet you it was written on paper too.
Yeah, I bet it was old school, maybe even in pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does the work. But you're right. I mean, I think the difficult thing for Waddell, I don't think it'd be hard to find someone who speaks highly of Kirill Marchenko. I think the challenge would be not just is he like in a good mood and a positive influence on guys in the room, but is he the kind of guy, and he even said this, some guys don't handle term well. For some guys get to what they think is the top of the hill, and now they can just coast down to the other side, and the best of the best don't see it as the top of the hill. To them, they're always on the ascent, and they always want more. So it's talking to people around Marchenko who could weigh in on that. Is this the guy who's going to rest on his laurels, not just be happy to be around, but truly a driven player that can help elevate things?
Talking with Aaron Portzline from The Athletic. That leaves one restricted free agent. That is Cole Sillinger. We just talked Johnson and Marchenko each signed 3-year deals. Do you think it could be something longer term that is in the works for Cole Sillinger?
Yeah, I do, and I think that's probably why it's taking longer, because they're talking so many different variables. He has 4 years before he is an unrestricted free agent, so the one thing we can say is it's not going to be a 4-year deal. I think there's a chance it goes longer. I think 5 is probably being discussed. I don't know if that's where it ends up, but I think that's probably on the table in some way. I think this is a player. I think there is trust within the organization that this is going to be a long-term player. But I think they're probably talking variables. And my guess is it comes down as a 3-year deal or a 5-year deal. So with either 1 year remaining before UFA status, or they buy a year of his UFA years to get him over the hump. If I'm a betting man, I'm saying it's probably 3, but I think that's probably what's taking this amount of time. And the other thing, and I don't know that, I don't even think this one got started until fairly recently. Without arbitration, really Cole Sillinger and Kent Johnson didn't have much leverage, and therefore it wasn't considered a priority. So a lot of work went into Marchenko, a lot of work went into the coach, and Johnson and Sillinger just got kind of backburnered. So I think once this becomes the focus, which it should be now, I think a deal gets done pretty quickly.
And the other point of business the Blue Jackets would like to get done is solve the Patrick Laine situation. Don Waddell has been very honest. He wants to do a hockey trade, and he even alluded to the fact that if I can't get anything done, then he's going to be back here. And I don't know that that's a situation the team or the player wants to be in. What do you see going on with Patrick?
Well, I think the club was hopeful. I think the agent, Andy Scott, was hopeful that when the news came out over the weekend that he was out of the program. I mean, first of all, that's good for Patrick, plain and simple. But second of all, now it opens up teams to speak with him. So I think they felt like there's a cluster of teams there that have been interested all along. Some of them are still interested, even though a lot of the summer work has been done. But I think there's a thought, too, that some others could come into it. And, it's tricky because there are some clubs that could handle 8.7. The Blue Jackets are going to have to take some of that money back, either in the player that they acquire for Line A or in salary retention. I think that's almost certainly the case. But there are some other teams interested that don't have much cap space who are really going to have to figure things out if they do acquire this player. So it's not just Columbus taking a portion of his salary or taking a player back. It isn't enough. They're still going to have to do some other work to get this done. So, this is at this point, what are we, the 31st? This is going to be the Blue Jackets' hope anyways, the third August trade in franchise history. They've not had one since 2001. Because at this time of year, pretty much everything is settled, but here they are, extenuating circumstances, still trying to trade the Line, but hopeful that it can get done.
I wonder how many calls Don Waddell's making and getting voicemails because the other GMs are out of cell range at this time of year.
Yeah, I think most of these guys have some way of being contacted at the cabin, but the phone
carrier pigeon. The guy drives out from town and says, "Hey, there's a message for you at the post office."
Yeah, can you take a phone call at the phone booth in town?
Be like the old days with the switchboard.
Yeah, or you get to town, you get the number off the payphone, and you tell them to call you every day at 3, so you meet at the payphone. Oh, geez, the things we used to do. Yeah, I think a lot of times the cell phones get checked at like 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Because they're on the watercraft the rest of the time, or just sitting on the dock looking out over the bay.
Aaron, thank you very much. It's great to catch up with you. I'm glad you enjoyed your vacation. I'll let you get back on it and enjoy your downtime before we get to training camp and the rookie tournament over in Buffalo. That'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Bob. Always good to be with you.
That is Aaron Portzline. He covers the Blue Jackets for The Athletic, and that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank. Next week, I've got a very important guest for you as Blue Jackets goaltender Daniil Tarasov. He is in town. He is working out. I'm going to talk with him about his preparation for training camp. This may be the most important training camp of his life coming up in September this year. So next week, we'll hear from Daniil Tarasov. Thanks to Justin Danforth and Aaron Portzline for joining me tonight. That's going to do it for tonight's edition of the Inside Edge. Until next time, I'm Bob McElligott. Thanks for listening to 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. Austin Ward here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist bumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me: pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, Didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet Store, America's arch supports experts.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.